Hi vinyl community, it's Mike here, and today I'm going to show you what I picked up at Leeds Record Fair in January 2025. So there's some singles, some albums, and then right at the end there's some ska and reggae. So starting off with the singles, they're all sort of punk or punk related singles. So first off is the Plasmatics, the band of Wendy O. Williams, and this is their single Butcher Baby, and on the B side you got Tight Black Pants, and that was a live track, and it's on the Stiff Records label. It's Stiff by 76, and it's released in 1980. So there's the label. Right. Next up, a band that I picked up a single of theirs last time I was at Leeds Record Fair, and I picked up an EP this time. And this is Antiy, and this is their EP, Four Sore Points, released in 1980, and the tracks on here are No Government, 1980, 2 Years Too Late, and Something New. And it's on the Rondelay label. There you go. It's catalogue number round 2. So that's a good bit of post-punk from Antiy. Right. Wayne County and the Electric Chairs. Here we go. An EP, and it's the blatantly offensive EP, and it certainly is blatantly offensive. It's on the Safari record label. See that? And it was pressed on gold vinyl, and it was released in 1978. And the tracks on here are F Off, Nighttime, Toilet Love, and Mean Mother Effing Man. So, you know, gratuitously and blatantly offensive. There you go, from Wayne County, but he does warn us on the cover of the EP. Right, band from Leeds, Abrasive Wheels, and this is Burn 'Em Down, and the B-side is Urban Rebels, and it's from 1980, I believe, no, 1982, on the Riot City label. There you go. And you know, they're one of my favourite bands from Leeds, and I always pick up anything by them. And you know, the cover I think depicts the urban riots sort of going on in the early 80s in the UK and various cities, particularly in the north of England. So there you go. That's Abrasive Wheels. Right. Another great punk band, and this is from 1977 on the Epic label, and it's the Vibrators, and it's Baby Baby. There you go. And this is the single Epic label, and then you've got the on the A side you've got the Vibrators pink sort of V logo, and Into the Future is the B side of this. So that was a really nice sort of pickup. Right, an Irish band, and this is the Radiators, and $1 Million Hero, and that's from 1978. It's on the Chiswick record label, and Blitzing in the Ritz is the B side of this, and you can see sort of up here that's Phil Chevron, and Phil Chevron went on to play banjo in the Pogues. So I'll show you the label. It's on the Chiswick record label. There you go. Another great record label from the UK. And finally an EP. Now this brought back memories for me, because you know, whenever you went to gigs in the late 70s, early 80s, invariably there'll be a punk poet on the bill, and these guys I've seen many times. There's Attila the Stockbroker, I think was from London, and Seething Wells, who was from Bradford, and Seething Wells would turn up sort of at all sorts of gigs around the sort of Leeds, Bradford area. And this is their This is our EP that they put together. It's called Ranting Verse Live at Wandsworth EP, and you can see it cost just a quid at the time, and it's on the Radical Wallpaper label, and it was recorded in December 1981. So that was nice to get. Say it brings back memories of the punk poets that you'd see around the live scene around 70s and early 80s. So that's the punk singles. Now some albums. British Schwartz. There we go. This is their album, Live Favourites, and it was recorded live at the Top Rank Cardiff, 19th of June 1974. And this was put out on the Vogon record label. I'll show you what it is. It's on red vinyl, and it's put out in 2015. And Brinsley Schwartz, the members were Bob Andrews, who was keyboard player and sax player, Brinsley Schwartz, who's guitar, sax and vocals, Billy Rankin on the drums, Ian Gom, guitars and vocals, and then the bass player, the most famous of them all, that was Nick Lowe. So yeah, this is a really nice bit of sort of pop rock from the mid-70s. I suppose the standout track on here is Nick Lowe's "What's So Funny About Peace, Love and Understanding," a track that he's gone on to record many times, and it was always a sort of a live favourite, I believe. So there you go. So that's Brinsley Schwartz. And Peel Sessions. Now, I haven't picked up any Peel Sessions EPs for a little while. I haven't seen any that I wanted, but this time I was lucky enough to see this one, and it's Girls That Are Best. And Girls That Are Best were Leeds band, sort of pop punk. They only released one album and about 2 or 3 singles. So yeah, this was recorded on the 17th of February 1981, and first transmission on Radio 1 on 23rd of February 1981. And the EP itself was released in 1987, as I say, on the Strange Fruit records label. So tracks on here are China Blue and This Train, and on the B side you've got a little medley of some of their other tunes, and they call it Getting Beautiful, Warm Gold, Fast From Nowhere. And despite their name, there's only one girl in the band, and that was Judy Evans, who was the vocalist. The other members of the band were James Allen on guitar, Gerard Swift on bass, and Carl Harper on the drums. So always pleased to pick up a new Peel Sessions EP from my collection. Right, Stiff Records again, and it's this one. Well, this is the inner. I better show you the outer. It's Rachel Sweet and Fool Around. This is her sort of debut album. She was only 16 years old when she recorded this, but she was already a real sort of old hand in the entertainment industry. Apparently she started in showbiz with some adverts when she was about 3 years old. So yeah, this is sort of country rock, indie, bit sort of punky. It's quite difficult to describe really, but it's got the single on here, BABY, which I think was her only hit. So this album came out in 1978. As I say, it's on the Stiff Records label. It's catalogue number C12, and this copy is on coloured vinyl, as you can see. But actually, the version on black vinyl is actually rarer. So Stiff put out, I think, about 2,000 copies of the album initially on black vinyl, and then represses were on the coloured vinyl. And there you go. I've already shown you the inner on that, sort of advertising this album and some other sort of stiff albums that were out at the time. So there you go. So that's that. Right, somebody else who's got a little bit of a connection to stiff records, and that's Richard Hell. So this is Richard Hell and the Voidoids and the Blank Generation, and this is the sort of second run, the reissue of this 12-inch single, and it has the tracks Liars Beware and Who Says on the B side, and the original single had a different track on the A side, on the B side rather, whose name escapes me at the moment. But there you go. It's on the Fire Records label. But Richard Hell's sort of connection to stiff records is that early on he recorded a single for them, and the single was called Another World, and the B side of that single was called it was actually called I Belong to Blank Generation rather than just Blank Generation. And that was released in 1976 before Richard went off to Fire Records. So that's that. So right, let's get on to a bit of ska now. Start off with this 12-inch single. I'm sure you know this. It's Ghost Town, of course. It's the extended version on 12-inch by the Specials, and the Specials, of course, were part of the ska revival, the whole sort of two-tone thing in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s in the UK. You know, along with other great bands like Madness and Bad Manners. You know, and yeah, this is a really nice sort of find for me. So as I say, it's Ghost Town extended version on one side, and on the other side you've got Y, and then Friday Night, Saturday Morning on the B side, and as you can see, you've got the lyrics there of all three tracks, and naturally it's on the two-tone label, and that was released, of course, in 1981. Right, now the next album is by somebody who sort of came to the attention of people like me in the early 80s because of bands like the Specials and Madness, because of the ska revival, and that's the great Prince Buster. And this is his album Fabulous Greatest Hits. I think it was originally released in the late 60s, but this is a repress from the early 2000s sometime. It doesn't actually have a date on it, and it's really good. And of course, you know, Madness, their single, The Prince, that was also on their debut album, is a tribute to Prince Buster, whose real name is Cecil Campbell. And yeah, this is a really good album. So tracks on here are Earthquake, Texas Hold Up, Freezing Up Orange Street, Free Love, Julie, Take It Easy, Judge Dredd, Too Hot, which was a track that was covered by the Specials, I believe, Ghost Dance, Ten Commandments, Al Capone, and Barrister Pardon. So I was really pleased to get this, and you know, I started collecting more sort of you know, ska and reggae albums and singles, mainly because of my mate Nick's Vinyl Botty. Now Nick loves this stuff, and he talks about it a lot. And I thought, well, you know, I've got quite a lot of reggae in my collection, but it sort of it was kind of sitting there, not exactly sort of collecting dust, but you know, I wasn't actively looking for any more stuff, and you know, I've just started doing that now, and you know, this one I was really pleased to pick this up, and I probably wouldn't have bought it 6 months ago, but now, you know, I'm really getting back into this sort of stuff, and that includes some singles if I can find them. Yep, here we go. So there's just about 3 or 4 I think, singles, reggae singles. They're all reissues, but and original copies of some of the sort of reggae singles go for really sort of silly money. So the first one is reissue. It's on Beverly's Records, and it's Toots and the Maytals, and this is a track called Daddy, as you can see, and then Deep in My Soul, which was on the other side. So that's really good. I've got some albums by Toots Hibbert, and I've got them on a couple of compilations. So he's somebody that I sort of know sort of fairly well. Right, some Trojan sort of reissues now, and let's start off with this one. So you've got Clancy Eccles and Chinaman, and on the B side of this, there's Dolce Mania by Trumbago and Dynamite. And I had a look at this on Discogs, and the original single was released in 1969. And if you wanted a copy of this in good condition, an original copy of this in good condition, it would cost you £150 or more. So it's really good getting these reissues, and they're much more within my my price range. A few quid rather than 150 quid. Right, 2 more to go, and the next one is John Holt, and there you go. So you've got Alibaba on one side, and I'm Your Man on the other. And this was also a single that was released originally on the Trojan label in 1969, and it's another one that if you wanted a decent original copy, it would cost you, north of 100 quid. So these original reggae singles are really, really collectible. Right, and the final reissues are kind of like split singles. So you've got a Trojan track on one side. This is Ken Booth, and it's Freedom Street. But then on the other side, you got a version of Guns of Navarone that was on the Great Record label. This was originally released in 1970, and again, the original single of this would cost you really silly money. So it's Guns of Navarone, and it's Freddie Notes and the Rudes, and of course Guns of Navarone. Probably the most famous version of that is the Scatolites version, but Specials also covered it, and I think that was on the B side of the single Too Much Too Young. So there you go. So those are the things that I picked up at Leeds Record Fair in January. So let me know what you think in the comments, and until next time, I'll see you. Bye bye.